This notion that it was unprovoked is just absurd. It's absolutely absurd. They knew that it was a provocation. It seems clear that actually, like, NATO knew that what they were going to do was going to lead to war. Their own people had been telling them, like William Burns, for example, this is going to lead to war. But they were looking forward to it because they thought that this would be a chance to destroy Russia. There was a Munich Security Conference, which took place just before the launch of the SMO. But that has been described as being sort of a euphoric conference. Everybody was just sort of giddy with anticipation. War was in the air. They knew that there was war just in the immediate future. Why would they be happy? Why would they be just, rubbing their hands with glee? It's because they thought that this was a chance to destroy Russia. They really did. And clearly it's failed, of course, but that's where we are. So yeah, if you want to say really who's responsible above all, clearly it was provoked. Now, of course, Russia did have a choice whether or not to launch the SMO, which you have to say is a major escalation. They chose to escalate. But of course, there were these bright lines, red lines that were being crossed. The West knew that they were crossing. We talk about how often Russia does not respond, but this is one case where they did. They weren't the first ones to escalate. You have to go back to coup and the constant shelling of Donetsk, all that. And, the promises, it's more than just talk, promises to bring Ukraine into NATO. All of these were escalations. The flooding of arms into Ukraine, this was an escalation. And then the Russians responded with their own escalation. Now, you can argue that that was a mistake. I think a reasonable person can argue that it was unjustified, but it clearly was provoked. It clearly was. So, yeah, who's primarily responsible for this? The answer really is simple. It's the U.S.